code for our pre-Halloween Nightcap edition. We are so glad you are here. We have special guests in the building, but we are going to start first with, you'll have to remind me your name again.
Wilzabub.
Wilzabub. We're starting with Wilzabub. Wilzabub has created a fantastic drink for this evening.
Actually, it's not really my creation. It was sort of their suggestion of how to drink this stuff.
Boy, is this nice. So I'm going to turn it over to you, Wilzabub.
Okay, so Kyla and I were in Aunt Betty's Cafe yesterday, otherwise known as the ABC store, and we were walking around looking for what I really wanted was something to make a green drink. And just about everything was too expensive. I mean, even the blue curacao, the bottom shelf stuff was yikes. So we kept walking around, and this beautiful bottle, I don't know, I wish I could get someone to zoom in on this. This Smirnoff Spicy Tamarind. Here. Whoa, there we go. You can see this.
Oh, yeah, you can see the skull there.
See the skull dancing
around.
Nice. This beautiful bottle just sang to Kyla, and the price tag sang to me. So it's that time of year when they're trying to get rid of their Halloween stuff rather than...
Okay, you gotta read the...
It is Mexico's favorite tangy, sweet, and spicy flavor.
It's got a little bit of a...
Yeah, there's red chilies and tamarind, and it's sweetened, so it's a little on the liqueur side. But I tried it with a mango nectar last night, and it was not very good. And then I went looking, and they recommended grapefruits, so I found some pamplemousse, and it turned out really nice. So basically, all I'm doing, as we have our mixture concoction section of the night, it's just a 1 ounce of the spicy
and the
tamarind.
Alcohol content in this one's not very
high.
high.
This is only about 30-something percent.
So it'll take me 10 sips instead of 5.
So the pamplemousse to give it a nice cloudy flavor or cloudy look, and then some melon liqueur to give it. And I'm gonna kind of float it over the top. Oh yeah, the melon liqueur's got a little bit of a taste too, but to just float it over the top a little bit so that it sinks down and makes streaks, of green.
It's really pretty.
I'll see if I can get this one into the camera so you can sort of see
the green
there's
streaks.
a bit of a greenish color there settling to the bottom, and that's it.
Yeah, it is settling to the bottom. That's cool.
It turned out pretty nice.
It's very nice. It's got a little bit of a bite. We're talking minimal of a bite, and delicious.
The grapefruit really cuts through the spice, because it's like the bitter of the grapefruit teases your taste buds into saying, nope, not going to take on any of that spice, and then the lingering spice is just there. I was trying to figure out what I was going to call it, and for some reason, Abuela de Diablos came to my head. So, does that roughly translate into grandmother of the devil, or the devil's grandma?
we have experts here in the house, and no. All right, so I'm going to get us started by our nightcap, is where we rehash last month, talk about what's coming in the next couple months. And so I'm going to start with the very first of the month, and that was that we took our FTC team and several other kids up to Perry Observatory for the NASA Space Apps Hackathon. And so when what a hackathon is an opportunity for people of all, you can be any profession, any occupation, and you just get together and you science for a weekend, and it's fantastic. And so we had 5 teams represented out of 10 teams at this regional competition. And it turns out that the guest stars that you're going to see this evening are the global nominees from um, our regional competition, and that would be the exoplanetary dragons. And I'm going to scoot you out of the way, and they're going to come in and they're going to explain to you in 30 seconds or less what it was that they went to the global nomineeship for.
30,
right.
30 seconds or less.
Okay, you get a minute. Come on in, guys. Bring them in. I'll move my chair forward. Yeah, see, this is the studio. You kind of have to sort of go with it. Oh, look, yes, you can have a seat. I'll get you another chair. And yeah, so exoplanetary dragons. I'm gonna have to give you a mic.
And not as minor children, don't you go near the alcohol.
I'm gonna take my alcohol.
I've got bottles there, but the caps better stay on.
Dragons, stars of the month. Go for it. Somebody talk. So, what was your project about? What did you study?
We created an exoplanet with mushrooms on it.
And what was the purpose of this?
To, I guess, hypothetically be habitable for human life.
Okay, and why do you think you got nominees as global
nominees? My best guess is it was just like the most well put together project. I mean, it seemed to impress the judges like most, and I mean, we just happened to get the popular vote of the local competition out there. So we got popular vote, and then we seemed to really impress the judges, and we took their suggestions into consideration and made those adjustments. So by the time of final judging, I think our project was probably just the most put together. So
okay, so
just really listen.
Can one of you sort of explain what Perry is, or what NASA Space Apps is, and what you enjoy about the experience?
So the NASA Space Apps Challenge is a global event funded and hosted through NASA. And basically, it's just an opportunity for just people from just every background and walk of life, every different occupation, to just get together and try and solve problems proposed by NASA, just from all different sort of categories that they deal with. There are sort of purely research-based challenges, which is what we have essentially. Then there are some coding and artificial intelligence based, and virtual reality based, and different things where you can make games, different things. But we just happen to choose a research based project. But it is just really fun, and it's a good way to really just sort of work with, other teams and just sort of a good community building sort of exercise even. But it's just really fun, and it's just a fun experience to just kind of go and sort of for a couple of days just get a taste of sort of that day to day. I mean, it really is just sort of really fun. Being just out in the middle of the woods.
I just realized that there could be DDT.
Exactly. Just out in the middle of the woods doing science, taking walks.
Yeah.
It's really fun.
What was your favorite part, Eric?
About Perry or the challenge?
All of it. What's your favorite part about Perry?
The radio telescopes were cool, and also Just how clear the night sky is.
It is a dark sky park.
Yeah.
How about you, Tristan? What was your favorite part?
I like the game room.
So what you're saying is it's not all work.
No.
Oh yeah. We had a lot of fun.
Plenty of games of chess and pool.
Oh, nice.
Plenty.
And lots of food.
Yeah, lots of food. And sleep.
Awesome.
And coffee.
All right, guys. Well, congratulations on being nominated to the Global Challenge, and we should find out in the next couple months if you guys are global finalists. So, congratulations, and they are right. The judges, they knocked the judges' socks off, man. It was pretty cool. So, anyway, that was how we started the month. Totally sewing, totally quilting, and actually I did do some, hand stuff while we were there. But more, it was enjoying watching them work. And like they said, the radio telescopes are really, really, really cool. And so, Wilzabub, you've changed. And so it was
Wow.
really, really cool. So so sewing wise this month, moving on,
Actually, I was standing here and I realized that they could be DDT.
DDT. You're exactly right, DDT.
It's Derek, and Tristan.
The those are the right, they're the exoplanetary dragons.
Oh, I guess I should. Mother, would you please turn that around for us?
So we can see. Yeah, that would. Perfect. Thank you. That helps us. Okay, cool. So that was how we started. I mean, like, I'm a little bit of a proud mommy, and I have another proud mommy standing back there in the corner. And so they kept, right, they talk with their hands and they don't put their things up. So, and they don't understand that all their voices have dropped down to a register that no one can hear. And so, but
they need to learn to project.
right,
their
they
voice.
will learn those things as they get older. So,
dig.
okay, so what else did we do last month? Oh, we had a beginning sewing class. We finished one, began another one. And the new one, we had one student, and she is just doing gorgeous work with her beginning quilt. We will begin beginning quilting again in the new year. We're going to let it go for now because we have the time period of the holidays coming, and we decided we would let that go for now. And we do have one final class we'll tell you about in just a second, but we were able to get in a bear class. So we did a bear tote. She's not done yet, but she's coming. She has straps, and she has a beautiful lining. I got my kids. I got my women in my class. Their bags are all done, but my bag it's still coming, and I'm also going to film it. So wanted to start getting some steps going for my filming. So, and then on to the second, huh?
No, this is still my first. It's just part 2 of the first.
Oh, part 2 of the first. Okay. Part 2 of the first. That's a new one. Okay, and then we had a breast cancer awareness bag that was wonderfully successful on Tuesday. And look at this sweet little sweet little girl. I don't know what she is. I guess she's a girl. And so my students were able to learn and master squaring half square triangles.
Breast cancer affects men and women, so why does it have to be gendered?
It doesn't. It just was. I had ladies in my class. You could have come and joined us, but you didn't. So it ended up being ladies.
I figured you needed girl time.
Oh, for heaven's sakes. Anyway, we mastered squaring triangles, and it was interesting to me that, like, after the 4th or 5th one they had squared, they were like, oh, I get this. You know what I mean? It's like all of a sudden after you've heard it for the 4th or 5th time, and I should share with you how to square triangles. And that is when you're using a square, There is one on my cutting table. I'm going to send my handy dandy helper over to the cutting table. There's a perfect square ruler on there. If you would get that for me, when you have your diagonal line for your triangle here, that's where you want to put that diagonal line for your squaring ruler. And so she's going to bring me back a squaring ruler, and I will give you that information. And just like you took off your hat, I am going to take off Sweetie, because Sweetie is getting a little warm. And Sweetie is my dragon. Thank you very much, helper. And so this perfect square ruler has down the center of it a diagonal line going from corner to corner. And lots of rulers have them. You do not have to have a squaring ruler. You're looking for the 45-degree line. And that 45-degree line is what you want to line up with your half square triangles. As long as you can line up corner to corner with your 45-degree angle, you're going to get a perfect square every time. And then look what happens. All of your beautiful points come into place because you have no choice but to. And the other thing is that squaring is just so very important. It's a terribly time-intensive step. It did take an hour for all of us to square all of our triangles. And by the end, the ladies were like, I'm really glad I don't have to square any more triangles. But every single one of them had no problems getting perfect points.
I remember squaring up the quilt that's behind our display here, which you may be able to see over the top.
They can see.
So, the first thing you have to do with your strips is you have to make sure that your quarter inch is as close to perfect as you can get it. If you don't have your perfect quarter inch, then when you go to square up, you're going to have one great big square in the middle, and it's going to be surrounded by 8 smaller squares. Or it's going to be the other way, and you're not going to be able to square. You're not going to get the size block you need. But when it comes to the half square triangles that were then made into half square, or the 4-patch half square triangle, or the hourglass block, you had to square the half square triangle first, and then, on both sides, and then you put it together, you turned it into an hourglass, and you squared it again.
Right. I mean, it's essential.
Yeah. Each one of those hourglass blocks was squared 3 times.
Well, and it was funny because my niece was visiting from Newfoundland, and while she was here, she was making a quilt, and I made her square every single one of her I don't know what they were, but I made her square those blocks, and she was hilarious because she got through and was sewing, and she was like, "I'm so glad you made me do this." She goes, "I didn't like you when I was doing it." But
I was going to ask. I don't remember that.
Glad. Yes, I was so glad you made me do this. So that was Hannah, not Kyla. And yeah, for sure, it was hilarious. In the end, she was like, "I am so glad you made me do this." So it's not fun at the time, but
no, but if you square ahead of time, then your quilt's going to be so much better and so much easier.
Yeah.
If you don't square, then your quilt's going to maybe look okay, but it's not going to be what you wanted in the end.
It's like this. And it's frustrating for you because nothing goes together right. And so it's much more
and it's no more, it's no more time consuming or tedious than binding or any of the other parts of the hobby that.
I mean, I will admit that we did it for an hour. We did 64 squares in an hour. And, holding that ruler down can get kind of tough on your hands. And so, we were having some issues with that. And, because it's and your eyes can sometimes go a little cross-eyed. And so just recognizing that, 60 squares an hour is about what you can handle. And if you need to take it in spurts, just applique, take it in spurts.
I do not remember how many days it took me to square the Ripple, which is a twin size quilt that is constructed from 4-inch triangles. And 4-patch squares.
Yeah, you did.
It is a twin size quilt that
You
is
did quite a bit.
every single one of those 4-inch squares had to be squared. And
Yeah, but then it went together.
it went
about
together
10
and
minutes.
yeah, but it's like all of the time that went into that quilt was
Yep.
the squaring, and it sewed together like a dream after you quilt it. I mean,
Right.
after you sew it or square
Right.
it. I'm going to get one of those words out of my mouth.
I don't know. You're working on, the
I might
second
have to go
edition
to,
of number one.
there might be a third version of the first one.
Right. So, okay, we will move on since you're struggling over here, and it's not me this time. Notice it's not me this time. Okay, so see, like there's nothing in this one. Okay, unless you drink second and third versions of number. Stop. Okay, so things that are coming up. The holidays are coming up, and
Yep.
so first thing I want to let you know is that we can help you finish your quilts. And so let us know now that you have a quilt you're going to need quilted and that you want it by Christmas. We will get you on the calendar now so we can get that quilt to you so that you can have it for Christmas.
When will reservations be ending?
Reservations are ending the second week of December. So you have,
right.
You
so
know,
yeah, tell us that you will bring it to us.
Those are full. So that's all there is to it. And we have a question back here in the peanut gallery. Go for it. Who? Hi, Jenny. Nice to see you. Thank you for visiting. Okay, so anyway, if you have a quilt, Jenny, if you have a quilt and you would like to get that quilted before Christmas, now is the time to call and let us know and reserve one of those spots, because once they're full, and you know which ones are going to fill, the ones that are in December are going to fill first because it gives you the most time to get your quilt done.
Now, I will say, if you want your quilt quilted and bound by Christmas,
yeah,
then it better be the first week of December at the latest.
Yeah, because our binder has decided to go back to school, and
the nerve of my child.
That they decided to go back to school and leave me with the binding. Although they've been doing a pretty good job helping me keep up. We're just getting a lot of them in, so that's good. But yes, let us know that you would like to get that quilt done. I have a custom going on next week, and then I should be able to just whip them out, hopefully, as long as Millie behaves. Millie's giving me a little bit of a trouble. So anyway, what's coming up is that, and we do have one last class for the year.
Well, if you count the sip and sew in December, that would be the last class, but
yeah. So we have and we also have our block of the month.
Right, but that's not a class.
Right, but okay, so if you have not gotten in on the block of the month program, now is your chance. So next month is Bring a Friend month.
Yep.
Not only if you bring a friend, but if you bring that friend can get the last 2 blocks of September and October for half off. So that's just $2.50 for each block. For $5, they can get caught up with us. And then for $10, you join the group. And we now are up to like 25 people. It's so awesome. And so you come in on either the Saturday at noon or the Wednesday at noon. And now we also have a request for those of you who have gone back to Florida or to Virginia. Our snowbirds who have gone back home and are anyway, this is home, have gone vacationing for the winter. Then we're going to do a Zoom session as well. And so if you are out of state, out of distance to come see us in the store, then we are going to have a Zoom session just for you. And if you show your block completed at the Saturday, Wednesday, or Zoom session, you get your next block for free. Now, for sending it to you, of course, you've got to pay shipping, but we're working on that. Anyway, so yeah, now is the time. You will still get 10 blocks from here, even if you don't get the first 2. And that's a whole quilt. You've got 10 blocks. So there are 12-inch blocks finished, and they are basic. I did this because I wanted to, one, I wanted to practice pattern writing. And number two, we had all these new folks coming into our studio wanting to learn how to quilt with the beginner quilting and that type of thing. We wanted to get them going and continuing up their skills. And so this gives you an affordable way to do that
And
because
we're
you literally could get a quilt for $10.
and we're trying to raise the level of difficulty for each
Right.
block as we go. The first block is just 4 strips of fabric sewn together. The only thing you have to worry about is your 1/4 inch seam. If you've got that perfect, then you've got your block perfect. The next block is a 9 patch that consists of um, three strips put together in 2 different colors. 1/4 inch seam is the thing to do. If that's perfect, then your 9 patch goes together, and that goes into a greater 9 patch. You'll have 4 9 patch squares inside of another 9 patch square that has 4-inch standard
I
blocks.
should have brought it upstairs so you could see it.
So
But you can see it on the website.
You're right. So the next block will be when half square triangles come into play for the first time. So yeah, you'll want a squaring ruler, and again, your half square or your 1/4 inch is going to come into play.
Well, when
And
you come in, we give you a full demonstration on how to create the block. Then in your email box, you get the pattern for that block, and you also get to see the types of tools that we're using. If you're having any problems or issues with the previous blocks or anything like that, you can come talk to us. If you're having problems, the 1/4 inch seam is the key. And so that is the key for quilting. I mean, and knowing your 1/4 inch seam and how to get it on your particular sewing machine, that is the key. So we're trying to,
I mean, in beginning quilting,
Yeah.
that's basically the first 2 weeks
yeah.
is learning how to judge your 1/4 inch seam. Even with a 1/4 inch foot, your 1/4 inch seam will vary because of the way in which you're seated. If I
How
started
much you
so
had to drink that day.
right, if I've started sewing here, and in 3 hours I'm sewing here, my 1/4 inch seam is going to be elsewhere than it was when I started.
Yeah.
So you need to know how to do that. You need to recognize when you should stop to measure, know how to compensate for your posture or anything else. Just knowing that it will change based on your posture is sometimes enough that you compensate. So it's very easy to get started, and there's no time like the present.
So that is coming. Do you have an idea of what date that is in November?
In November, the second Saturday is actually.
I'm looking. I will tell you.
It's like the
It is the
12th?
oh, it's the 11th. It's Veterans
11th,
Day.
right? 11th, and then the next Wednesday, the 15th,
15th. Yep.
is our our Wicked Wednesday. And now that the Wicked season is only 4 days from ending, I will have to come up with a new.
Right. He needs a new theme.
Well, no, I've had, magic, and now I need to think of something else or maybe the witches just take on more whimsical rather than.
Oh, I know. Wait, Thagador is just dying to come out of the box.
Thagador's not wicked. I mean, he's
But
wicked
Thagador-
Pissa maybe, but he's not wicked.
Thagador's ready to come out of the box. So I think you need to start messing with Thagador.
Okay.
Thagador needs to come out before Thanksgiving because he has been talking to me. Every
Okay.
time I walk by the box, he has been talking.
Thagador is our elf on a shelf.
Yep. He's not an elf on the shelf. Thagador was part of our program last year where Wine and ... was offering, if you could find Thagador at one of the shops that he was, well, we had Thagador. He ran away from Wine and ... and he fell in love with our store. And so a lady found him. In fact, it was Linda Smith found him, took him back to Wine and More, and Thagador said, "No, I belong at Quilton Code." And so Thagador came back home, And so Thagador, and he's been waiting and resting in the box, ready to join in the festivities in just a couple of weeks. He's been waiting till Halloween finishes because we know how you are with your Halloween. And then Thagador can come out of the box.
I mean, you've also got the Nightmare Before Christmas, so we could just keep Halloween going until about December 24th.
Peanut Gallery in the back is nodding. So Thagador will be out pretty soon. And then so we have Sew and Sip is not until December this month because we have robotics tournaments and Thanksgiving and
Black Friday and
all
Small
sorts
Shop
of stuff.
Saturday. And
so we decided that it would be best to let November go. December, but we had so much fun last
you
month.
skipped over
I know I did. I'm coming.
The class.
These are precious and fun, and I will get to them. And so the
just trying to keep in chronological order.
December 3rd is when we're doing our next Sip and Sew, and the last one we had was very popular. We made bowl cozies, and we actually had someone come in and make bibs for her baby. I mean, that was we just had a blast. And so this next Sip and Sew is going to be stockings, and Will is getting Minky and has decided that if you want to join our Sip and Sew and you would like a name embroidered on the cuff of your stocking, all you need to do is come talk to him. Because all of a sudden, the master of the embroidery machine is the kilted
has
quilter.
Turned into me.
Right.
So
The kilted quilt.
The embroidery master used to be our binding master, who's still our binding master, but our embroidery master has turned into me. Right. We actually sold a Chubby Cubby yesterday. Ah! So I made.
The winner came out. She was a Chubby Cubby.
So for Chubby Cubby, So for Fat Bear Week, the winner was, I believe, Molly.
Was it Molly?
That was a large bear. Moto. She was, but she was also beautiful. Her competition was Chunk, right? Yeah, and Chunk was big, but he'd been in a fight and he's got a scar across his nose and he's got a little bit of a lopsided face, so he's not quite as photogenic as Molly was. Molly was just beautiful. And then the stories of her guarding her cubs all summer were fun too. But that said, we sold our first brown bear kit this week, and I spent today putting together another brown bear kit. I still have to embroider the nose, but the face and paws are done. Yay! And let's see. The manta ray kit is out and available. So what? And
he's going a little crazy. It's great. Isn't
it
great?
I'm just trying to keep up at this point.
Right? And he cut a whole bunch of but first coffee quilts today kits today because that video is going to go live next week. And all that's left is me. Laney's like, all that's left is for you to say hit go, and I'm never one to. It takes me a while to hit go.
So yeah, I've packaged 7 of the 11 that we will that are available. So
it's so cute. I think they're going to be out the door.
Yeah, when that goes live, it will be up on the website, and we will. I believe our total will be 11 at this point. For kits. For those who want to grab it, but if we reorder the brown, I think we can get another 2 or 3. Cool. So maybe 15 total. But even if you can't get the kit, it's an absolutely wonderful way to learn how to incorporate your 6-patch panels, such as that one, into a 3-yard quilt. And in the end, the kit will have all 3 yards as well as the panel. But I think we did the math, and we might have said it last time. You only need about a 1/2 yard more once you've incorporated the panel into a 3-yard kit.
So you get a little bit of extra, which is good. I like larger bindings for my quilts than the 3-yard quilt likes to do. 3-yard skimps it pretty big.
They're economy
That's
bindings.
good, but I mean, like, they're trying to get you the best economy out of it. Not,
Right.
I like a 2.5-inch binding, so just because I don't want to think, I don't want to fight, I don't want to think, I just want to sew, and so I use 2.5-inch. But yeah. So last but not least, we have Miss Alice's, not mine, gorgeous wreath class, which is coming up in November, and so she will be teaching how to make the wreath in 2 days. It's going to be on November
The 2nd and 9th, right?
Right. It's going to be the 2nd and the 9th, and so it will be morning class for the 2nd and the 9th on Thursdays, and she's going to teach you everything that you need to know. And so are we providing a kit for this one, or are they picking out their
I
own?
believe they're picking their own 3 fabrics.
Got it. And then we'll
Because
have
we split
everything
it
ready
into
else
2
to go
days.
for you. So,
Yep.
And then you have to decide whether or not you want to go big or whether you want to go small. And so this one is perfect for also a centerpiece. You could put a candle. Oh goodness, Lex, you're like in charge now from here on out. You're anticipating. I need someone who anticipates me. You can have a candle here. You can hang it on the wall. So, it's the perfect time for the holidays. So, perfect project.
But once you get started, you can do multiple seasons.
We have a question. Go ahead. There are 2 different styles that are available as well, and you will be taught both. You will be taught both. If you can do one, you can do the other. And so the fabric requirements for one, for the batting and that type of thing, sometimes you can get 2 or 3 out of that. And so that it looks like it's an investment because some of the, not the fleece, but the pellon, the thick stuff to make this stay out is a little bit on the pricey side, but you can get 2 out of it. And so that's kind of nice. Yeah. Anything else?
No, I can't think of anything. We will be open on Black Friday and on Shops all Saturday, and for the coming up on the next month. And Shop Hop will be ending on Tuesday. So if you haven't gotten out to your shop, go do so. If you haven't gotten to us, please come.
We'll make it fun. We try anyway.
I mean, you get to see me in my kilt.
Right? Come see the Kilted Quilter.
That's right. Sexiest kilted legs in any quilt shop you've got.
Woo! That's new. How many have you had?
Nearly enough.
So we will let you guys go with that for this evening. If you have enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe, comment, all that stuff. And and my
and keep in mind that as our subscription rates go up, I haven't looked at them
that's right.
recently.
Go ahead.
But once we get to our next mile marker, we haven't
500.
we haven't gotten to 500 yet.
We're at about 350.
If we get to 500, we will advertise a drawing for you to enter into to receive a free baby quilt. And as we get through more mile markers, we're going to get up to the point where we will, if we can get enough subscribers, we will get to the point where we are going to give away a king size quilt. That mile marker is going to be up there. So like and subscribe, and then share if you.
Yes, please.
The more people you share with, the more subscribers we can get. The closer we get to those mile markers, or as soon as we get to those mile markers, you may be the one who gets the quilt because you shared over to the people who got us to that point. So it's in your best interest.
And check out our other YouTube videos. I need to get in front of the camera. I haven't because I've been long arming and teaching classes. But
I'm still working on this poor guy.
right, so
We'll get him together.
maybe Sunday we'll get in here and do some videoing.
He's been DNR since last month.
But we're gonna bring him back to life. And with that, I'll let y'all go. Have a wonderful evening, and I hope whatever you're drinking has been as much fun as what we have been drinking. So
Glad you liked it.